Back, guys. Let's talk some
College
college
basketball.
basketball.
We took a little bit of a delayed break, just chilling. We realized we were going a bit quick, so we
Right.
took a little bit of break. But yeah, college basketball. It's pretty wild right now. Actually, would you say?
Absolutely. Anything's up for grabs right now. The number one team is Kansas, and you know how I feel about them.
Yes.
I don't think they're number one.
But the teams last week the top four was Baylor, Gonzaga, Kansas, and San Diego State, and then Baylor, Gonzaga, and San Diego State all lost.
Right.
And now they all moved down.
Yes.
So now the new top five is San Diego State at 5, Dayton at 4, Gonzaga at 3, Baylor at 2, and Kansas at 1. Personally, I think Dayton should be up a bit higher. I'm pretty high on Dayton.
I disagree with even though I love Dayton.
I know
I love Obi Toppin.
Shout out to Obi Toppin. We love you.
Right, but I think they're exactly where they should be. I think they should be at 4. I don't think they should be any higher than 4. They're in a weak conference. They've barely won a couple games, and I think 4 is an accurate thing of what they should be.
I just feel as if you lose a game, you should drop a bit more to the team like should win, especially like how close it is right now. Just personally, I feel as if Dayton is a pretty good basketball team. I feel like they're better. I feel like they're better than Gonzaga. I don't know if they're better than Baylor, but I think they're definitely better than Gonzaga.
Well, I would disagree because if you look at the team that Gonzaga lost to, it was BYU. And where are they in the rankings right now?
They moved up to 17, but they were at the time 23.
Right, so that's still they didn't lose to some scrub team. They lost to BYU, and you should have seen how big that BYU crowd was. BYU has not had a team this good ever
since like Jimmer.
Yeah, since I don't even think Jimmer's team was that good. It was just Jimmer.
Yeah. Well, the only two teams that Dayton and Colorado lost. The only team that Dayton lost to was Kansas at the beginning of the year, and they lost to Colorado.
Those are 2 good losses. Don't get me wrong, but look at the games they played, and they haven't blown out anybody in their conference.
Nice.
In recent games, at least.
Let's see when their conference play started.
I'm just talking about. Just go last 5.
Okay. They beat URI 81-67.
Okay, so that was pretty good margin actually.
Then they beat UMass. Is that UMass?
UMass, yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's UMass. They beat them by 8.
You see, that's horrible. UMass is horrible, and they only won by 8 points.
And then they beat VCU by 5.
VCU is pretty good, but still, that's a close win again.
Then they beat. I don't even know what their name is. They're
Duquesne.
Duquesne, by 10.
Right, so that's not that. They should be winning by more than that.
Duquesne's better than VCU though.
I mean, on paper, yes, but no, they're not. Trust me, I've watched both of them.
All right, and then they beat George Mason by 8.
Yeah, so that's not.
They're 7 actually.
So they've been one team like by the margin they should have beat them by, and that was URI. Everybody else has been a close game. So I don't know if you can move them up that high. I don't know. The 4 seems an accurate representation of what they should be, I think.
Well, I feel like also the A10 is better than Mountain West.
Mountain West. Well, yeah, clearly people think that because Mountain West is behind them and they're 26-1.
Actually, wait, I take that back. Actually.
Oh, you mean West Coast?
No, the West. Actually, no, the West.
Are you
Coast
talking about Gonzaga's?
Yeah, the West Coast.
Yeah, West Coast Conference.
The conferences again, I swear.
And yes, the West Coast is much better than the
West Coast is better. Actually, I didn't. know
BYU is in the West Coast.
If it's BYU, St. Mary's, they're all really good. The Pacific is also good. Gonzaga is Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Who did Gonzaga lose? They got crushed by Michigan. That was a pretty bad loss.
Well, Michigan was also on fire at that time.
That's also true. And then they just lost to BYU.
All right.
But they laid the smack. Oh my goodness, they laid the smackdown on St. Mary's. My goodness.
Who's that, Gonzaga?
Yeah, they won by 30. I thought St. Mary's was like really good.
They are pretty good. That's why Gonzaga is a good team. BYU is just playing out of their minds right now. They had that home crowd advantage. There was like 50,000 people in that arena.
Oh, and they smacked BYU the first time they played them.
Yeah, but not at home.
Not at home. And they got smacked by BYU. But
yeah. No, BYU's playing
out of their minds. Okay, maybe Gonzaga is a bit better. But
yeah, I think everybody's accurate except for Kansas, and I'm going to stand by this.
Why don't you think Kansas is?
I think Kansas should flip-flop with San Diego State, and it should be San Diego State 1 and Kansas 5.
Let me see who Kansas lost to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so they lost to Duke, who's really good.
I wouldn't say that. They're inconsistent. They're good.
They only lost by 2.
Okay.
They only lost by 2.
Was that at home or was it neutral site? Where was it?
I believe it was neutral site. Technically, I believe Kansas was the quote unquote home team, but I believe it was
Well,
just a
It
tournament.
looks
Actually,
like Duke was home team.
oh, it was in the Garden though.
It was in the Garden, so neutral site. Okay.
Neutral site. Then they lost at Nova by 1.
And
And then
to
they
Baylor.
lost in Baylor. But then they lost at home in Baylor. They lost at home to Baylor, but then
They got
also,
crushed.
But then they also beat Baylor on the road.
Right.
So I don't know. That just evens it out, I guess.
I don't know. They at the end of the day.
I also don't like Kansas that much because of the whole
Exactly.
I used to like Kansas. Like I like
I don't
Kansas,
like Kansas either.
because of the whole like the chair, the fight.
Well,
Even though that wasn't really their fault,
it's
that Kansas State kind of started that. Oh boy, they're playing Kansas State on Saturday.
Well, yeah, they are rivals, Danny.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be funny.
But anyway, yeah, it's clear I don't like Kansas because I will not admit that they're number one until they actually are number one, because they have 3 losses. There's no way they're a number one team right now. I'm sorry. Baylor beat them once, they destroyed them, and then they've lost the more recent one by 3 points. Give me a break. They're not number one. And I still think San Diego State is the best team. They lost to a red-hot UNLV team.
That's UNLV.
They just blew out Boise State by.
That's Boise State.
Bro, Boise State's a pretty decent team by record. Come on now.
Let me see where Boise State is. Yeah, Boise. They're 11-7 in conference.
Yeah.
And UNLV is 11-6 in conference.
Yeah, but they're on fire recently though.
Still, like we watched that game yesterday.
Yeah, they started off. I said give them time, and what happened? I gave them time. They were up by like 40 at one point in the game, and then they put in their bench players. That got down a little bit.
Yeah,
I stopped watching. It was a terrible game.
They only won by 10.
Yeah, but they put their bench players in. They were winning by 30 points in that game at one point.
So like I would take UNLV over.
I'm not saying I would take UNLV over anybody, but I'm saying that's San Diego State's only loss. They lost by 1. They lost by 3 points. Everybody has a slip-up game. They usually win every game pretty easily. They have Malachi Flynn. They have that good white guy. I forgot his name. Should probably know that. But he's a big man. He's pretty good. He shoots threes. They have all perimeter shooters. I think they're a good team. They're my kind of team to watch.
Fair. And then also, I'd like to say Duke has lost 2 of their past 3 games.
Yeah, like I said, they're inconsistent.
They lost.
You know who lost to them?
They lost to NC State and Wake Forest.
Right.
Wake Forest more recently.
So Kansas lost to this team. Just remember that.
Yes, but
They're inconsistent.
I still think Kansas is the best team in the country, personally.
Well, I disagree.
And we're just gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait and see.
We will. And if it were me, I would flip flop San Diego State and Kansas, and then we would have perfect accurate.
So you throw Kansas at 5?
Yes.
What?
They're worse than all those teams.
I don't know if they're worse. I don't know.
They're worse than Zaga. They're worse than Dayton. They're worse than San Diego State.
I don't know about that.
Well, yeah, we'll see in the tournament. When they go out Sweet 16 or something like that, I'm gonna be laughing.
I also want to give a huge shout out to Minnesota for the chokiest choking of all chokings I've ever seen. I thought that was that's so awkward. I thought someone was waiting to me.
Yeah, you said they're choked, but there's also Maryland was hitting clutch shots on the other end. So
you're up by how much?
17.
You're up by 17.
At one point in this was the first half.
At one point, yeah, you're up by 17 at one point. And then you had, where did they get? They got to 73. You were up by like 8 with 2 minutes left. And then you blew it.
Yeah, and I would definitely not call that the most choke job, Danny, because you clearly forgot Iona was up by 10 with less than a minute left against St. Peter's game, the first game of the season, and found a way to lose that game. So that was definitely a choke job. It was kind of a choke job, but Maryland's also hitting half-court shots.
All right.
So I don't know what to tell you. Like, what are you supposed to do when the guy's coming up and hitting threes? Even if you hit your free throws.
Which guy? This guy?
I don't know. The last shot was way back.
Like where? Like how far? Was it this guy?
Probably somewhere around there.
Let me see.
Way back.
Second half. Second half.
Yeah, it was probably that far circle.
Okay, let me see.
No, not that one. The other one. No, maybe that one.
No, that's a mess.
No.
That's a mess. This is a make. This is a make.
That's a make, yeah.
So what was it named? Daniel Oturu? Let me see. No, it was Daryl Morcell.
Yeah.
That's who hit the 3. Now let me see where that was from.
Are you even looking at the right side?
No, I wasn't.
Like I said,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
almost half
Oh my
court.
god.
So
Wow.
is this really a choke job, or was it just a legendary shot by this guy that just pulled up?
Well, I gotta see when the last couple were. This guy hit a pretty D3 as well. This is he missed before too. I don't know why this guy took that shot.
Well, he had to. It was 1 second left on the game clock or something like that.
Anthony Cowan Jr. What was that? This 3.
Oh, that was earlier, but he's their best player.
When did he miss this 3? I want to see this whole thing actually. So they were down with 2 minutes 37 seconds left. They were down 63-70.
That's not bad. I mean, it's a good comeback.
And then or 64-70, sorry.
Yeah.
But they were down. I said they were down 8 somewhere. I don't know. Who
Yeah,
knows?
maybe farther down the road, but like I said, it was kind of a choke job, but not really. Maryland earned this W to come back. Like, Iona choked away the game against St. Peter's. I wouldn't say Minnesota choked this game away to Maryland. Maryland came back and won it, and they're really good on the road this year as well. The announcer was saying it, so credit to Maryland where it's due. Maryland's a good basketball
you do
team.
got to give credit where it's due, but I feel like you should have walked away with a win.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like it's not like Minnesota's not a good basketball team. I don't know what to tell you. Like the fact that they missed the free throws is not shocking to me because they weren't a good basketball team coming in.
That's true. Weren't they good last year though? No.
Yeah, they were okay. They made the tournament, but this year they're not making the tournament. Not in that Big Ten conference.
Yeah, they needed Isaiah Washington, but Isaiah Washington's here now.
Please give me a break. Isaiah Washington was coming off the bench, not even doing anything.
We love you, Isaiah.
I mean, he's good for our team. Wasn't good for Minnesota.
Isaiah, we love you. Jelly fan for the win. But let's see what else happened. Any other significant jumps? Michigan's back in the rankings. They're at 19. Good for them. BYU moved up to 17, which you already said.
Mm-hmm.
Creighton cracked the top 10.
Oh, Creighton. That's another team that's red hot.
Creighton,
and watch out for Creighton because Creighton came from out of nowhere. They started the season off really slow, and now all of a sudden they're on.
Creighton's elite.
Fire.
I love Creighton. Oh, they're in the Big East. Oh, the Big East is elite this year. Look at that.
Yeah, you should know your conferences, Danny.
What?
I already knew this.
I did.
They got Nova. They got Marquette. They got Creighton.
Butler's good.
Butler.
Xavier.
And I wouldn't say they're elite.
Bail, get at it. Xavier's good.
Xavier is not good. I mean, they're okay.
They're 18-10.
Yeah, okay. What's their conference record?
Oh, we don't talk about the conference record.
Yes, that's what matters because they could be playing scrub teams.
7-8. Baylor,
yeah, they're bad.
Butler's also, but Marquette's also 8-7 in their conference.
Yeah, Marquette. I told you, Marquette's been choking away games they shouldn't have been losing.
Nova's good.
Nova's good.
And then Seton Hall's really good.
Yeah, Seton Hall is good, and then you got Creighton. That's on fire.
And then St. John's and DePaul are just awful. DePaul was good to start the year too. I don't know what
they
happened.
started off like 12-0 or something like that.
I don't
was
know.
looking at them.
I don't know what happened.
They got into conference play is what happened.
Oh my goodness, they lost. So they started off like, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then they lost to Buffalo.
So
right before conference play, they were 12-1.
12-1.
And then they lost 5 straight. And they beat Butler, who was number 5 in the country at the time.
Wow, that's probably what put Butler in the downswing. They lost to a bad DePaul team.
And then they lost like 10 straight games. And then they beat Georgetown, just lost to Xavier.
And Georgetown's not good this year. So
yeah, Georgetown, you got to fix that. I don't know.
He doesn't have the talent. What is he going to fix?
Well, he's got Mac McClung's pretty good.
Give me a break there.
He is good. What do you mean?
Right.
He's a good player.
Not really.
Mac McClung, he's a good dude. Where is he?
It doesn't mean he's a good player.
Where is Mac McClung? Did Mac McClung get hurt or did he get benched?
I don't know. He's not good.
That's why they benched McClung. McClung's my guy.
Well, he was clearly not good. I don't know what to tell you.
Hold on a second. We got a couple minutes left. Don't tell me they benched Mac McClung. What did he do?
Maybe he did get injured.
Recent game. Yeah, he might have gotten.
He has an average of 19 points.
And that's only against Xavier. He scored 19
Oh.
against Xavier. I don't know why they have that one up. Career stats. So this year, in 21 games played, he is averaging 15 points.
Yeah, he got hurt.
On 80% free throw shooting, 32% from three, and 40% from the field. He's averaging a steal, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds.
So he's all right.
He's a good dude. I guess he got hurt. I don't know what to say.
He's all right. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Notre Dame while I'm at it.
Oh, yeah. They had a
They-
game-winning shot yesterday.
They played terrible for most of the game,
And
but
they
they found a way to crack down at the end, the last 5 minutes, come back against Boston College, and keep our tournament hopes alive.
I'd like to give a shout-out to UNC for actually winning a game. Thank you for that.
And actually, that helped Notre Dame as well because North Carolina State was first 4 in or something like that.
Yes, you're welcome for that.
I mean, it doesn't mean we're going to move in, but it just moves them out.
That's true.
I don't know.
But anything else you'd like to say?
Anything else? Oh, yeah. Iona plays Kinesis at 7 o'clock tonight.
They play tonight?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
I thought they played on Fridays.
No, not on the road.
Oh.
Kinesis doesn't have fans. It doesn't matter when they play.
Yeah, Canisius, what's up?
I mean, they're last in the conference. What are they going to say
That's
back?
true. So Iona, go finish him out.
Yeah, good
Is
luck.
Van Eyck coming back? I heard he was coming back.
I hope so.
I heard he's like coming back soon. I don't know if he's coming back today or not. And then I think that's it. I don't think anyone else is hurt.
Well, I did see Gist warming up on social media.
Gist is out for the season though. There's no way.
Are you sure though?
I'm very sure he's out for the season. If he comes back, he's a warrior.
Bro, I feel like he might be coming back tournament time. I'm not even joking.
I hope so. We'd love to have you back.
I
But
mean,
that means less playing time for Ross, which
But that doesn't mean that at all. I don't think that means that.
you know how I feel about Isaiah Ross. I love Isaiah.
I don't
Ross.
think it means less playing time. We could bend somebody else. We'll play all small.
That's fair.
But
yeah.
Yeah, just good luck to them.
Good luck to them.
I mean, we need the dubs. We need to win at least 3 out of the final 4, but no pressure on.
I don't know if we're gonna get the regulars. I think that might be out far fetched because the other teams need to lose.
I'm not saying to get number 1. I'm just saying to lock down the 5. I feel like we need to win 3 out of the final 4 games,
Okay.
and it's important to lock down the 5 at least because
Okay.
that's what gets a bye.
I gotcha. All right. But thank you guys for watching. We will be back next week for another episode. I don't know why I said that with a question mark.
Yeah, we'll be back at
We'll be
same
back.
time.
As usual.
Thursday, 4
Thursdays
o'clock.
at 4. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Go get some food. Go get some dinner, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 o'clock, Danny.
Yeah, it's dinner time almost.
No.
Yes.
Well, if you want to, you could go ahead, but you don't have to because
almost dinner.
Danny, it's a weird time apparently.
Well, yeah. I take care.
Even though I'm getting food right now.